I want to ask you and I want to get more into philosophy here. What's your view of Karl Marx?
My view of Karl Marx is pretty positive. I think that you can certainly find things like anybody who's writing in the mid-19th century that, if there's nothing that you think is wrong about 150 years later, then like something has gone very wrong, right? There should be ways that you can say, no, this part no longer makes sense. You got to rethink that. I think you have to look at it a la carte, but I think that Karl Marx is a basically positive figure. I think that the theory of history is mostly right, and I also, I see you smiling. Happy to get into it.
I'm happy to debate the Hegelian dialectic and the phenomenology of spirit.
Oh, okay.
No, not debate it. We can discuss it.
Not where I thought this was going, but that's cool.
That's basically what you mean by the theory of history, right?
I don't think it is. I think there's a big difference there.
He was the head of the young Hegelians.
Well, he started out as a Hegelian, and then he rejected it in favor of what in some ways structurally is similar, but in some ways is the opposite, because it's based on materialism. But here's what I do think when we talk about Marx, because I think that there's an interesting thing that happens here, that when people talk about Marx, they tend to say, well, any dictator who existed in the 20th century, who claimed to be inspired by Marx, people who were born decades after he died, that discredits everything that Marx said. But then when we're talking about a philosopher like John Locke, who a lot of...
Love John Locke.
Yeah, right? And then, but then like John Locke, the man both philosophically justified and was personally involved in the slave trade, given his role, formulating the Constitution of the South Carolina colony. The man philosophically justified the genocidal dispossession of Native Americans.
That's a misinterpretation.
I think so, right? Because his view is they don't really have property rights because they're not using the land properly, and so they haven't mixed their labor with it in the right way to establish a right to it. Whereas not only did Marx never not praise any dictatorships that were alive, when he was alive, his model for what he thought transition to socialism would look like was the Paris Commune, which was ultra-democratic, and the only head of state anywhere in the world who he liked enough to send a friendly telegram to was the democratically elected Abraham Lincoln, who he liked for anti-slavery reasons. You have been watching free public content from Give Them an Argument. To access every single episode of the show, the main show on Monday nights, all of the streams, all of the debate breakdowns, all of the patron-exclusive post-games on Monday nights, all of the patron-exclusive bonus episodes every week, and much, much more, go to patreon.com/Ben Burgis. I cannot resist ending this with, don't be foolish.